I saw the first two debates, read the feedback in the papers, and one of the words that popped out to me was harmony among the candidates, with a sense when you discuss the issues, it's now or never. So what makes you different from your other three opponents up here on this stage tonight, speaking to North Carolina?
I think the clear distinction is knowing the Constitution. I prepared as an OBGYN for 15 years after high school before I had the scalpel in my hand for the first time. I put the same effort in this Constitution. If you do not know the roadmap, if you do not know the plan, the contract, how can you be a complete oath keeper on that? It's very important that we know those 6 pages, that they chain the federal government, not the individual. The Bill of Rights is separate. Over here, it's God-given natural rights in which the federal government can never infringe upon. So I believe that I'm the most prepared for this. I understand that Constitution inside and out. I've been an oath keeper, I'm a Hippocratic Oath for over 26 years, delivering over 9,000 babies. This is a constitutional crisis we talked about because the federal government usurped their powers. In Article 1, Section 8, there's 18 functions for the federal government. The state is sovereign to protect the individual. I believe I'm clear on that, distinguishable on that, and will never waver on my oath.
Ms. Grant, what makes you different?
For me, this race is not about me being the next senator. What it's about is the future of our nation. And when we look at that future, it's bleak because we don't have people who are sitting in Washington who believe in building on the foundation that our founders gave us. They gave us the Constitution, and we've elected leaders who have gone there for the most part and sat and done nothing. And what we need now is a leader who understands what leadership is. And that is more than just doing the job that comes across your desk. You have to mentor, you have to grow our conservative base, and you have to be willing to help those who come behind you, because let's be realistic. We don't need any more lifetime politicians sitting in the same job for 30 years. What we need are people who understand that sometimes a fresh pair of eyes at the end of 6 or 12 years, there's nothing wrong with that. And you need to learn to be a resource and a mentor and a leader. And that's what makes me different.
Mr. Harris, what sets you apart?
Well, in many ways, Kelly, I would say it's kind of like where I started earlier tonight, talking about experience, working with people as a servant leader and bringing them together to accomplish things that, even though they have different perspectives, they can accomplish it a greater purpose. But I also think the essentials of character, consistency, and courage I talked about are critical in this issue, and that ties right back into the electability. Last time I checked, the purpose of a primary is to choose the candidate that is going to be able to defeat Kay Hagan this fall. And for me, I believe it is so critical that we have someone that is electable. There are 2 individuals on this platform tonight who carry with them baggage that I believe Kay Hagan will use to rip them apart. We have one candidate who did not support Mitt Romney over Barack Obama, and at the same time, in the last 2 months, had a lawsuit for misleading investors. Those are concerns that I have about what they will face. And then we have others we can talk about later.
Mr. Tillis, what sets you apart?
I think experience. You know, I led the conservative revolution in Raleigh, and we delivered on all the promises we made in 2010. I've been cleaning up Kay Hagan's mess. I know what it's like to come behind Kay Hagan and see the failed policies and to get it right. You know, being conservative is not something you say, it's something you do. And I've done it consistently in Raleigh. I'll do it consistently in Washington. We have a disaster waiting to happen. It's already began with the passage of Obamacare. Kay Hagan passed that and made the deciding vote. We've got to turn that around and repeal it. We've got to have leaders that understand the pressure cooker of the legislature, that understand how to get things done and deliver on the promises that they've made. I believe that I'm best positioned to do that because I've done it. I've done it for 3 years as the Speaker of the House. I brought the caucus together, and I led this state back to a path of prosperity, and I'll do the same thing in Washington.